Hello, my name is Ozzie, and welcome back to Metroid Prime Part 3. I've just picked up the missiles, and I'm now making my way back towards the entrance of the ruins. I'm changing the way I'm doing my commentary because I've had some comments, so hopefully this goes a bit better. It's going to be less scripted, and more I don't know what I'm saying in advance. Basically going through this corridor, I had a bit of an unfortunate, the way the scarabs drop is kind of random. Sometimes they clump together and they're really easy to clear out. But when I was going through that corridor, they were pretty spread out, so I just ended up walking through half of them. Not really a big issue because I've got plenty of ways of getting health. These beetles can be ignored, but basically the door that's just on the left, it's just off screen, there it is. You just need a missile to get through there, and that's where I'm heading next. And this will take me through to the next boss and the next power-up that I need. So I've got another corridor here with some more scarabs. These ones group up okay, I've managed to clear them all. And then there's another group just around the corner here, and they actually group up really nicely for me, so I'm able to take them out really easily. And you can see just how easy they are to take out when they're all grouped. And then through this door is the next boss, so it's not far. The first few power-ups are all pretty close together. Basically getting back to the point where you were at the start, minus the grapple beam. This boss just starts off with a huge wave of these beetles. As you kill them, they keep spawning more. I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but as you can see, I'm just running circles around them, and they'll basically never attack me. So you just keep running around and keep shooting them. I think the way these guys attack is that if you're standing still, they sort of aim at you and then lunge forward. So if you keep moving, they just never attack. So now we're getting up to the actual boss, which is just a bigger version of the beetles. It attacks in very much the same way. If you're standing still, it will lunge at you. It actually catches me off guard right at the start of the fight, and just immediately attacks, which I wasn't expecting, and I wanted to try and scan it before I started attacking it. But now it's basically just stand still, let it charge, you jump to the side when it lunges forward, and you just hit its back. You can't hurt it from the front at all, you can only hurt it from the back. But 2 missiles and a few shots and it's dead. And this is on hard mode. It probably takes even less on easy mode, or normal mode. And so this allows me to get the Morph Ball upgrade. So very important, you use it throughout the whole game. And now I'm just going to go back out the way I came through this tunnel and head back to that sort of main open area again. So the next area I want to head to is up above where I am now. At the end of this room, you can jump up some platforms, and you get to a door that's just basically right in front of me now at the end of the walkway. There's 2 of the wasp nests up here, which I take out with missiles before the wasps have a chance to spawn. Or there's like 1 or 2 that have already spawned. But that's just a really easy way of taking them out, and then you don't have to worry about them spawning more wasps, or whatever they're actually called. I describe all the enemies by what they look like, not their actual names, because I can't remember their actual names. There's another corridor here with more beetles, or whatever you want to call them. And that's what you need the Morph Ball for, to progress so that you can get through that little tree stump. That was a very nice grouping of the little beetles there. Some more rolling. So this room is pretty dark. There are some of the firefly things flying around. If you kill all of them, the room will basically be pitch black, or there might be sort of very low light. So it's actually best to keep them alive as much as you can. If they get in your way, like that one did, then you just kill it. Once you've passed them, you really don't need their light anymore, because you're not turning around at any point. But just make your way around the room, over all the water. If you fall in the water, I think there are some enemies down there, but you have to go back up to the platform I started on. Here's a new enemy, he's called a Shriek Bat. Basically, they drop down and fly straight at you once they see you. so just take them out quickly, and even if they hit you, I don't think they do very much damage. These vine creatures, if you get close to them, they just start slashing and flailing everywhere. They can knock you off platforms, they do a bit of damage. So you just shoot the sort of eye on the end of them and it makes them retract into the wall, and after, I don't know, 5-10 seconds they pop back out again. So you just want to head to the door opposite of where you entered from and then go down this corridor. I thought for a long time the steam here would actually hurt you and I always rolled under it, but the steam doesn't hurt you, you can just run straight through it. This is just a save room in here. There's no real need to save as you go unless you're sort of worried about dying. I would actually say, given what the next upgrade is that we're getting, you really don't need to save there at all. We come back this way shortly, and you can save then. It's probably, you know, just as good to save then. On the left here is a little cracked wall that you can blast open with a missile, and that contains a missile expansion, which gives me an additional 5 missile carrying capacity. So now I have 10 missiles I can carry. I did have that one I missed in the last episode, so if you get that one too, you would actually be up to 15 right now. So this room has lots of platforms to jump between, lots of acid water you don't want to fall into. There are lots of the vines, like that one, which will continually try to knock you off platforms. What you need to do though is find these 4 runes. So there's one just here under the mushrooms I killed. You have to scan all 4 and that will open the way forward. So there's one on that platform there, there's one at the end here which you can actually scan from above. You don't need to jump around the bottom like I just did. This is me trying to remember where the other 2 are. One of them is just next to the door on the right, which you can't see, and I go straight past it because I forgot it was there. And I think I remember just as I go around this corner, so I have to backtrack a little bit. For some reason I thought it was on that wall, but it's not. It's down there. I'm just trying to get a lock on it because the game hates me. So there you go, you can actually scan that just as you enter the room, then get the one under the mushrooms, then you can jump up here and scan the one at the bottom from up here. And the 4th and final one is just up the top here. Scanning that will then reveal the last symbol on this door, which you just scan to open it. At the end of this room is some more lore and the charge beam upgrade. So the beam I've been using at the moment, I still call it the charge beam. The only difference is I can't actually charge it until you get this power up. And then you can actually charge it. Charge beam, I don't know how much more damage it deals from just a regular shot, but for these little eye laser things that now appear, a charge beam will kill them. Whereas your regular beam will only close them for a short period of time, and if you let them open and close and open and close, you will never actually kill them with a regular shot. You have to use a charge beam. I don't think you can use missiles either, but I could be wrong. I don't think I've ever actually tried. So now making my way back to the room where I saved before, and this would probably be the better time to save, just because you have the extra power up. There was nothing really threatening in that room because there's no boss fight, it's just go in and collect the upgrade. Now in this room I need to get up to the top, which involves quite a bit of jumping, clearing out a bunch of these mushrooms because they get in the way and explode if you don't clear them out. And there's also, I think, 2 or 3 groups of shriek bats that can jump you as well, not counting these ones here because you can just ignore those. So here's the first group. They're pretty easy to take out. I mean, you could see I didn't even kill them before they sort of activated, if you will. They give you plenty of time to kill them. The second group is just up the top there on the left, which I forgot about. And these ones do actually attack me, and that's all they do. So 2 of them hit me, I lost 20 energy, no big deal. And the last group is just here, in front of the door. And I spectacularly fail at making that jump. You do have to jump right at the edge of the platform, or aim for sort of a little bit of hanging debris. If you don't, you'll just fall. It's not a hard jump to make, you just have to, you know, be a bit more precise. So there's plenty of little bits you can land on. And there we go, I landed straight on the other platform. More shriek bats in this room. This room just has some of the little eye lasers. You really don't need to kill them with the charge beam because they stay closed for more than long enough to run through. But I don't know, it's just something about the way I play. I always have to kill enemies when I see them. I don't like sort of leaving things alive. I don't know, there's something in that. Yeah, I'm some kind of horrible murderer. But entering this room, you want to head over to the left. You want to be careful as you roll through there like I just did, because there is actually an enemy that can suck you up when you're in Morph Ball. It's actually best to walk all the way up to the pipe and then enter Morph Ball, or, you know, just stay far over to the left like I did. Then you roll down those tunnels and enter into this room, which is the next boss of the game. Not really sure what it's called. I think it's the disposal unit or garbage disposal unit, something like that, or incinerator, I don't know, you get the idea. Basically, you just need to avoid the flames, and this little light will pop at the top. You want to shoot that, and then or shoot upwards at the giant nest at the top. You cannot destroy this nest, it is essentially part of the boss fight. That will spawn these tougher wasps. They can actually poison you, I believe, or they just hit really hard. I can't exactly remember. I don't think any of them hit me throughout this fight. They're pretty easy to deal with. As you can see, after the sort of first phase, the flames actually start aiming high and low. You can walk under the high ones, and you have to jump over the low ones. I think there's about 4 waves of this, maybe more, and that may also vary between standard and hard difficulty. Most things do. The main difference between standard and hard difficulty is you deal less damage and take more damage. I think it would make sense that that's the difference. And the bosses are generally just sort of a bit more full on with their mechanics. So I think on standard, the high and low flames don't start until later in the fight. I think there are less wasps, but as you can see, it's not really too difficult either way. And this gives me the Morph Ball bomb upgrade. So I immediately put the bomb to good use, destroying this little wall at the back of the room. You can roll through here, and there's just a missile expansion sitting there for you. Now I want to make my way back to the room just before this area. So back through the pipes, and just into that room there. You can actually ignore those shriek bats if you just roll straight to the left. You need this thing to sort of suck you up, and then just drop bombs to kill it. And that allows you to get through to this area behind. These little mechanisms are little sort of Morph Ball bomb slots. They're used to activate various things. As you can see, that door is currently locked. It's not a lock that can be destroyed, it's a lock that has to be opened by either killing all the enemies in the room or activating a certain device. So in this case, there's 3 of these little bomb devices I have to activate. That beeping, as you might be able to guess, is a timer. This is timed, but it gives you a pretty generous amount of time for this one. So the second one is just in the main area. This will then raise some of the platforms, which allows me to jump across to that, where the third bomb slot is. Also watch out for shriek bats up here. They can knock you off the platform and ruin your time. But you just jump across these. Pay no attention to the beeping. You really get heaps of times. Even if you fall off there, you can still make it. If you fall off a couple of times, you might be pushing it. And then that's it. Once you've activated all three, the lock is disengaged and you can head through that room. You don't need to go this way. You don't have to do this puzzle at all at this point to progress. This is all to get a energy tank. And it's only a very small detour, so if you want the extra energy, highly recommended. So now that I've got that energy tank, what I'm going to want to do is backtrack all the way to the room that had like a giant tree in the middle, and it's where we first saw the vine enemies. I didn't really go over that room in too much detail as we went through it the first time. I'll do it a bit more this time because we actually will be doing something in that room now. For some reason I got stuck here. I couldn't jump up the step. Don't know what happened there. This room with the eyes, you can bomb your way under here. It's just like not even really a shortcut because it takes longer than just shooting through the eyes anyway. I'm not really sure how it went that way, but it's just nice and easy. So now's a good time to save because there's going to be a boss coming up. And in fact, given the time, I'm going to end this episode here. So the big tree room will be explained next time. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.